Alright, I want to say welcome to the presentation. There's a little bit of context before that I've probably thrown up about why I'm recording it like this, but this is my pitch, and I shall be presenting it. So, I've been a fan of Death Battle since the early days, summer Season 1, Season 2. So I've had a lot of time to think about what I want to see. And like many other fans, I've got a top 10 list, but the top of that list, and what I want most of all, we'll start with this. Mankind's greatest soldiers. They're strong, they're swift, they're brave, and they're the only ones who can protect the galaxy. We got Commander Shepard versus Master Chief. Humanity's last hope. I've put my slides in the wrong way, but I can fix that. I will just go back to it. Right, and go with that Mass Effect is a series I love dearly. So much so that it occupies a fair few slots in my top 10 most wanted matchups. We'll then go back here. Now, I really like Mass Effect. It's the first video game series I ever truly fell in love with. I also really like Halo. I played a lot of LAN parties back in the day. Very fun times. But of all of the Mass Effect ideas, it is really much this one that I think the comparisons hit home incredibly well. Both of them being the best soldiers of humanity and their series, trained from a very early age, or well, not very early, but they trained from an early age in conditions that did kill many others, fighting relentlessly against a Lovecraftian enemy, building lasting friendships along the way with some of the best fighters in their respective galaxy/universe, and both are very willing to give their lives to win in the name of peace. Both series have also been heavily compared by fans over the years, standing as two giants of science fiction in the world of gaming. Bringing in Shepard does allow you to explore very unique aspects of Mass Effect that make it one of the best of the genre, such as what this slide describes, which are the biotic powers. Inspired by the Force, thanks to BioWare's work with Knights of the Old Republic, it enabled them to create a very unique and fun set of powers for their games. Biotics specifically take use of Mass Effect fields, which are able to manipulate the mass of objects themselves, giving you very iconic abilities such as the Singularity and Biotic Charge. Singularity essentially being a gravity well that enables you to hit your enemies more easily, and Biotic Charge takes your entire mass and flings it at an enemy. Moving forward, there's this very fun video showcasing some of the tech powers that's one of the many reasons that Garrus is one of the best characters in the game. Anyway, right, now, as for how things will play out, or might, or could play out, from all the research I've seen, the matchup is remarkably close. Unlike what most people think, it shouldn't be a stat stomp on either side. Both of them have faster than light dodging feats, or scale to characters that have them, meaning neither is going to land an easy hit with their firearms. Shepard's abilities also aren't an instant win. Another misconception, because they need to get past Chief's shields and possibly even his armor, depending on how it works, other than specific abilities designed to get past, to take down shields and armor. And while Chief's stats might be mostly superior, it's absolutely not enough to sweep. My understanding right now is that he probably wins, but it would be the hardest fight of his life. Now, speaking of Shepard's abilities, here's the breakdown on advantages and disadvantages. With Chief taking strength, speed, and having equal arsenal and versatility, and then Shepard taking powers for what should be obvious reasons on both sides. And here's a better, more in-depth breakdown. But yeah. Now, there's a very good, speaking of abilities from earlier, there's a very good question as to what you give Shepard, because Mass Effect's an RPG with a class system, so how do you handle that in a death battle? There's two routes. And there's the funny image. Anyway, there's two routes. You can either give Shepard everything, because despite being locked to a single class, in between the games, you can switch between them. And Mass Effect's very unique in that things you do in the first game carry over to the second, and it carries over to the third. Which means having different classes between them would be canonical. And there are various abilities that it shouldn't make any logical sense to restrict, such as grenades or various ammo powers. The other option is going with just pure soldier Shepard to sort of match better the whole soldier versus soldier that Chief would bring. But personally, I go with the first option because it lets you explore more interesting abilities, and it helps Shepard bring that stat gap back in. And like I said, supported by the fact that Shepard can change classes, it just makes sense. Now, comparing their arsenals, Chief's base UNSC gear is outpaced by most of Shepard's arsenal. But then when you get into the Covenant Forerunner weaponry, it gets a lot closer. With them both having stuff that sort of matches each other. Chief's Forerunner weaponry can disintegrate people. Shepard's got a black hole gun. Well, quote-unquote black hole gun. It's a bit weird, but essentially. He's got lightning-based weaponry. He's got your average weaponry. He's also got lasers and other various stuff. A lot of cool things. But yeah, pretty cool overall. And their arsenals might be quite impressive, and these guys might be one-man armies on their own, but they aren't without their support. And wherever you give Chief access to Cortana, or his new companion, the Weapon, Shepard has Edie to match them. And she is capable of cypher warfare against the Reapers, beings who have been alive for hundreds of thousands, if not millions of years, and have had plenty of experience wiping out the galaxy time and time again. And Edie is able to match and often surpass them. So I think there's quite a good bit of a match here. Now, for an idea of how the fight might start, is this nice animatic made up for me. Annoyingly, that happens a lot. Overall, the reception and opinions of this matchup are pretty positive. Even if I would imagine most people's feelings are that it's not fair. But as I've laid out, that couldn't be any further from the truth. I've got some trailers here that I'm going to play. Hopefully they work correctly.
You have been called upon to serve.
That's the only kind of person who can protect the galaxy.
Chief!
Shepard!
I hope you're ready for a fight.
I guess we all make our choices. Sometimes we die by them.
This one is machine and learn. Shepard, you cannot stop us.
Don't make a girl a promise if you know you can't keep it. Come back to me.
This second one is made by me.
They let me pick. Did I ever tell you that? Choose whichever Spartan I wanted.
Every soldier has scars. Shepard's a survivor.
I did my research, watched as you became the soldier we needed you to be.
Is that the kind of person we want protecting the galaxy?
That's the only kind of person who can protect the galaxy.
Like the others, you were strong and swift and brave.
Go out there and give them hell. You were born to do this.
A natural leader. But you had something they didn't. Something no one saw but me. Can you guess? Luck. Was I wrong? One last thing to really go over before, well, one final thing, is that you could very likely get Mark Meer to voice Shepard, as he has voiced Shepard in some fan projects, and has even starred in fan projects himself. So I feel like it would be a very easy grab, and a nice extra thing. Last but not least, we have some honorable mentions of some other Mass Effect matchup ideas that I think would be just as cool. Well, not just as, but also cool to also have on the show. And that is the end of my presentation. I want to thank people for watching, and I hope one day this gets to be a death battle.